Oh, yeah, we've also learnt why coronavirus is apparently out of control in the United States. This was being offered up today in the United States as the reason why things got so out of control. Forget the whole, putting sick people back into nursing homes. Forget the fact that their state borders are enforced by law that they can't be closed. Apparently this is the reason. Oh, yeah, and it's Trump's fault.
The federal government in this pandemic is very, very clear who's missing. Leadership that mirrors the diversity of the United States population. When you see that, then we'll probably see different outcomes.
Too many white people. Always the problem. And there was, as you know, there is massive civil unrest that is happening right now in the United States. I've shown you this every night, but you need to see it every night because they're not going to show it to you on the 6 p.m. news. These are the types of riots that are happening right now in the United States. Roll the tape. Laser beams that you would go to jail for in Australia if you shot them into the sky at a plane are being fired into the eyes of police officers. Because this has gone on for about 2 months, the federal government have decided to put troops on the ground to try to get on top of this. Because clearly the local police forces can't do it or the local politicians won't let them do it. So today there was a farce of an oversight hearing that took place in Washington. What you are going to see is 5 minutes of interaction between... I'm going to play the full 5 minutes, don't worry. Each of these politicians get 5 minutes to question the Attorney General about what is happening when it comes to the federal troops being used to go after the rioters. Instead, as I've talked about multiple times, the danger in the system isn't just the loonies on the streets. It's when the people who are in positions of power in Australia, be they council, state or federal government, but in the US, be it mayors, governors or Congress people, if they want to look the other way and pretend it's all peaceful, nothing to see here, there's no lasers being fired in the eyes of police, you get moments like this. Now, remember, the bloke being asked is the Attorney General of the United States, the #1 lawman. The person doing the questioning is somebody who's trying to appeal to Twitter.
Have you now called for law enforcement to stop using these chemical irritants on protesters? Yes or no?
Pepper spray?
Yes.
No.
No?
I think it's a very important non-lethal option.
For protesters?
No, for rioters.
That was my question. For protesters?
No, for rioters.
Yes. Sir, America was founded on the principles of free speech.
When people resist law enforcement, they're not peaceful.
Reclaiming my time. I'm surprised at your lack of respect for a member of Congress.
I'm surprised you're so rude at a congressman, she says. Seriously? He's the guy who is in charge of making sure that the troops can do the job that politicians like her won't do. That are telling the police, who the same lunatics want to defund, that they shouldn't be able to do. Rule of law. It matters here and over there. I talk about it because the crazy that's happening there, people want to import here. Make no mistake about it. Thankfully, we saw that people were able to stand up against that Black Lives Matter protest in Sydney, and I hope they do so about the anti-mask lunatics that are planning to do something in Melbourne.